Greetings, royal family. All right, I'm back with my weekly top 5, top 6 pick on the WTF show. So let's get straight into it. This is a lot. So today in Ratchet news, ladies and gentlemen, Fetty Wap is accused of trashing a Los Angeles rental home. So he's being accused of trashing this LA vacation home so bad that the landlord said that they had to repaint the entire house because of the smell of smoke. Yeah, baby. Okay, so according to legal documents that were obtained by theblast.com, the owners of the mansion are asking the judge to force the rapper to pay $170,964 in damages. Yikes. In the filing, the landlord claims that Fetty has not responded to the suit, and they are asking for a default judgment of the entire amount for the damages. Now, he rented a luxury home in the Hollywood Hills, and the rent was $35,000 a month. So the legal documents, they claim that Fetty failed to observe and comply with the no smoking provisions of the lease. And as a result, left cigarette burn marks on floors, carpets, sofas, and fixtures. Yeah. They also continued that after Fetty vacated the premises, they did a walkthrough, and the smell of smoke was so bad that they had to repaint the entire home, and the new interior paint job cost the landlords $14,904. So he's also accused of leaving holes in the walls, damaged the AV equipment, sofas, cushions, coffee tables, pillows, desk cabinet, and mirrors. And they also said that they actually threw off mirrors from the home. They took the mirrors off of the walls in the homes and threw them over the balcony. The landlord is accusing Fetty Wap and his crew of doing so. So he also allowed pets in the house, and they claim that the pets damaged furniture. There was urine stains, and they pretty much want him to pay. I mean, he did leave the premises, and he left the rental home in a deplorable condition. So the landlords, again, they're asking for the judge to order the rapper to pay the entire $170,964 in damages. This is gross. And this is probably one of the reasons why that certain landlords and property management companies do not want to rent to certain individuals. Yeah, period. And no, Fetty Wap is not a representation of all rappers, all entertainers, all black people, but you have money. This is what I don't understand. So you think just because you have money, you can trash people's homes? I mean, I hope the judge ruled this. I think this story was like 2 weeks old, but I thought it was interesting because I find Fetty Wap very, very interesting. He's not representing Jersey well. I'm a Jersey girl, y'all. You know, he's not doing us justice. But Fetty Wap, that's disgusting. That's embarrassing. It's disgusting for you to allow your friends, your company, whosoever to destroy someone's property that you were renting. So I do hope the judge rules in favor of the landlord's claims, and the landlord gets all their money. Like, what's wrong with you? Moving along, Popeye's chicken sandwich is back with a vengeance, okay? So you remember back in the summer, in August, the chicken sandwich was like acknowledged, and all the hype around the chicken sandwich, even though it had been on the menu for Popeye's menu for quite some time. So in August, everybody was going crazy. You know, chicken sandwiches were selling out everywhere. So they brought the chicken sandwich back November 3rd, earlier this month, and people are just going bananas, okay? Somebody was recently stabbed and killed over, they're saying it's over a chicken sandwich. This happened at Popeyes, but we know how sometimes, you know, media outlets can put a spin on things. So this happened in Maryland. There was a man who had basically been cutting the line in Popeyes, and it's being reported by the Associated Press that the guy who was cutting the line, you know, annoyed another patron of the restaurant, so much so that they got into an altercation in the restaurant that spilled outside into the parking lot. And the line cutter was stabbed and later died at the hospital. So, you know, the police chief is basically saying, of the county in Maryland, is basically saying that this was a senseless crime, is a pointless crime. So they're asking for Popeye's help in IDing this person who stabbed the other guy. I'm not releasing names. I don't want to, I'm reading the article, but I don't want to put any names in here for fear of they may strike my channel or something. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I think to me, it's weird because the police chief is saying that there was a 15-minute time lapse. Like the argument broke out and then spilled out into the parking lot. And 15 minutes later, you know, a man is stabbed to death. So I'm wondering if these two individuals knew each other. Not that it makes it right, but I'm just wondering if these two individuals knew each other or this was really over somebody cutting a line in Popeyes. Regardless, if either of the two are true, it's still ridiculous. And yeah, the suspect, he fled. They did find a knife on the victim. I think when they searched, they confiscated a knife. They searched the victim, but they're sure that he didn't, you know, brandish the knife and try to use it on his attacker. He should have, if you ask me. Like, this is crazy. And of course, Popeyes, they resumed selling their chicken sandwiches. You know, they gave a statement saying that they're going to be participating with authorities and this is senseless and yada yada, but they're still basically selling chicken sandwiches, you know. I don't know. I think that this is sad. Like, it's just sad. I don't even know what else to say. Like, some of the lines, like passing by some of the Popeyes that are in my area or in my county, I just ride by just to see the foolishness. And what I should have done was I should have actually recorded on my phone so I could insert this into the video, but I'm thinking about that now. But anyway, I just see people being like rude and I see people shoving and arguing. And just earlier today, as a matter of fact, I saw a video on Twitter of a Popeyes worker who was called the N-word by this white lady, you know, older white lady who felt entitled to whatever it is that she felt entitled to. And then the argument spilled out into the parking lot and he pretty much body slammed her. Like, this is too much. And what I don't like seeing is I don't like seeing people being rude in general, and I don't like seeing people being rude to service workers. Like, you know, someone who works at a fast food restaurant or is a waiter or waitress at I hate when I see people be nasty to them and treat them as though they're, you know, peasant servants. I can't stand that. So I'm just saying, if you can, be nice to you can. Everybody has the capability of being nice. Some people choose to just be jerks. Be kind and respectful to your service workers. Like those Popeyes employees, some of them, you know, this is probably like the only job that they can get or that they qualify for. And that's no shade. It's probably a matter of convenience. And they're being overworked. And I think that a lot of them are not being respected. And I think that they're tired of this. And who is to blame for this? I'm going to keep it real. Popeyes. You guys, Popeyes is all they care about is the money. You know, they hyped up the marketing when this sandwich was like first shoved out or pushed out. And I don't think that they prepared for all of the attention and the popularity, but I don't see them. They don't care either. Like they just get it done, you know? So these service workers, I feel for them. So, I mean, be kind to your service workers. I've never tried the chicken sandwich to this day, and I don't foresee myself doing so. For some reason, I just am not interested at all. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not interested. Anyway, be kind to your service workers. Be kind to people in general, especially people who are preparing your food. You know what I mean? A lot of these people are overworked and underpaid. So take that into consideration. You know, they're human beings, not robots. Anyway, moving along. Lifetime announces the upcoming Salt and Pepper biopic. So Salt and Pepper, rightfully so. I think it's time. Do we care? Do we want to see Salt and Pepper biopic? I mean, I like the TLC biopic. Aaliyah's biopic was a mess. Who else? They did a Whitney biopic. That was all right. But TLC was pretty good. I think TLC was on VH1. I don't think that was on Lifetime. But do we care? Do we want to see a biopic on Salt and Pepper, especially done by Lifetime? I don't know. Well, the group members, they're still not talking because I don't know if you remember a couple of months back, Spinderella had beef with Salt and Pepper because she wasn't being paid, and they had a reality show and she wasn't included, and she wasn't going to be included in the biopic, so it was a little bit of static. So they're still not talking. Lifetime is pretty much getting ready to put out the Salt and Pepper biopic. It's a 3-hour film. It's still in production. The actors, they're currently filming, and they're basically going to tell the story about how Salt and Pepper created came together and created the iconic group, despite their like contrasting personalities. Because if memory serves me correct, Salt, this is about to tell my age, y'all. Show my age. Salt and Pepper. Salt is like the salt of the earth, you know, and Peppa is like fire and spicy. So they're supposed to be like contrasting elements, right? Is that the right word? Elements, contrasting personality. So Mario Van Peebles, my guy, who is known for directing one of my favorite movies, New Jack City, he's going to be directing this project. As far as the writing, Salt and Pepper, they're going to be behind the writing. Mario Van Peebles, I think he's going to have like a little bit of writing credits in there as well. Who else is there? Abdul Williams, who's responsible for the Bobby Brown story and the New Edition story, which was really good. The New Edition story was good. Who else? Shakim, who is Queen Latifah's business partner. He's going to be writing, and Queen Latifah is also going to be writing on this biopic as well. So I have hope that this is going to be good. This is going to be interesting. You know, a little, trip down memory lane. And I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. So yeah, it's just pretty much going to follow how they came to be, Salt and Pepper. And I think they met in they met in school, like community college or high school or something like that. So we'll get to see that. 3 hours. I wonder if they're going to do it all in one night or if they're going to do it in 2 nights. Hopefully just do it all in one night and get it over with. So let me know if you care. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to start advertising for it soon. They're still like in filming and production. So I'm pretty sure like mid next year we'll get that. So this will be interesting. All right. T.I. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off and get it over with. You guys, if you haven't heard, T.I. was on a podcast with 2 bobbleheads, 2 women, they're bobbleheads. I said what I said. And he was discussing how from the age of 16 that he accompanied his daughter to her gynecological visits. And he was very hands-on or involved, I should say, as far as wanting to know about his daughter's reproductive health. Okay, that's like a nice way to put it. He asked the doctor to check and to make sure that his daughter is still a virgin. Okay. At 16, I can understand that because she is a minor. So therefore, I'm assuming that him being her biological father, he does have access to her medical records, I'm assuming. Now, her being 18, he's saying that he still does it. And he actually told his daughter to give him consent to have access to her medical records, right? All personal stuff. Well, T.I. thought it was a good idea to share this information on a public platform such as a podcast where hundreds of thousands of people were listening. And the 2 women who are hosts of the podcast, I call them bobbleheads, they thought that T.I. was giving a stand-up comedy routine because they were giggling uncontrollably. So this, after he was done giving this parenting, I guess, like insight, like I said, the bobbleheads, they were laughing, and I really wasn't even gonna do this. So this is what I want to know. Which one of his self-righteous homeboys is going to correct him for this behavior? I wonder. So people have been giving their opinions. Like, people got a lot to say, and it's fine. Everybody has an opinion. It's fine. I want to start out by saying this. People can raise their children however they want. Okay? Totally up to them. Can. Just simply, the word can just simply means you have the ability to. Doesn't mean that you should. Doesn't mean that you may do this or that. Can just means you have the ability to. So people can raise their children however they choose to. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a mother or a father together or separately, T.I. being a father. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a father accompanying his daughter to any sort of doctor's appointments. Not at all. I don't see anything wrong with that. And also like asking important questions and, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. However, to embarrass your child by publicly admitting to invading her privacy and being proud that you are invading her privacy is careless. And again, Dumb and Dumber, the two co-hosts, they were laughing during the entire interview. And I think that they are a disgrace. I'm dramatic sometimes, y'all, but I really feel this way. Reason being is because this is a man that is talking about the private parts of his daughter, who is now 18 and considered a legal adult, but she is still a woman, a young woman nonetheless, you know what I mean? Whether it's his daughter or not. You are talking about whether or not certain parts of her female anatomy are intact. You want the doctor to make sure that she is intact and that this is not broken and this is intact. And these two women are laughing. And I don't get it. Like, what's funny about that? I don't find anything funny. And instead of you sticking up for this young woman, regardless if it's T.I.'s daughter or not, you choose to laugh about it. I don't know what's happening in this world. Like, that disturbed me. Like, honestly, what T.I. said was like, what? But them laughing about it, I don't know what, like, it disturbed me beyond belief, And I wonder, is T.I. like trying to trivialize his daughter's decision to have sex because he's nervous at some of the, he's nervous because maybe he's aware that some of the things that he's done as it pertains to women can be done to his daughter, like, or is it a form of, some sick form of control? We know he hasn't treated his wife in the best way, and their relationship was public, their life is public. Is he afraid that his daughter may be treated that way too? Or like, I just, like, if he would have, listen, if that's what you're going to do, T.I., fine. That's your daughter. You guys got to deal with that. But why are you putting out this private information to the entire public? I don't understand. And I don't think that there's, like I said, I don't think that there's anything wrong with a father being hands-on as it pertains to knowing what's going on with his daughter physically, but to go so far as to say, like, the doctor has to let me know if this is intact or this is not intact. Why do you think that people need to know that? You're not thinking about your daughter or how, you're not respecting her privacy whatsoever. You're trivializing her, her virginity as if it's just something that you got to protect. Like, this is another thing that I want to know. Okay. Let me calm down. Let's say that she does come to you and says, Dad, I've decided to get physical with my boyfriend, or I'm in a relationship and we decided to be physical. Like, what are you going to do? You going to take her out on the lawn and stone her at sundown? Like, or disown her? Like, what's going to happen if she tells you she thought that she was ready? She decided that she was ready to engage in, intercourse with her boyfriend or whoever if she's in a relationship, whatever, right? She's 18 years old, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to, like I said, you're going to disown her. You're going to take her out front and have everyone stone her. I don't understand. So is this more about her safety, or is it about your oh gosh, these egos, or is it more about your fragile ego? Rather than educate her, and I'm not saying that he doesn't do this, but rather than educate her about like the people that she may encounter, health and wellness, how to protect herself, what things to look out for as far as reading social cues and behaviors in people, and leave the decision, up to her, trust that she'll make the right decision. You just decided to be pompous and self-righteous as usual and put out her personal business. For what? Just to make us like, is this supposed to make you look like father of the year? And I get it. Like I said, I'm assuming that his intention was to show how involved he is as a father, but you don't have to prove that to the public to make yourself feel better about yourself. Like, that's the problem. This was not done with the intent to educate parents or to educate fathers. It didn't come across that way. This was to satisfy your fragile ego. And it is just, you embarrass this girl, man. Let me tell you something about embarrassing people. I be careful of who you embarrass. Some people don't take to it lightly. And this is your daughter, man. Like, you got to do better. You got to do better. And I just wonder if he thinks that because he's, the man of the house and he can just say whatever he wants. And then people were also saying that the same rules don't apply to his young son. I guess one of his sons, King, has admitted to being sexually active, and he's like, my boy. I don't get it. Like, it's like television shows and society tells people how to think, and they actually think that way. Like, they actually regurgitate the things that they see on television and think this is normal. Like, to me, that notion of the son in the family having a girlfriend at the age of 14 is like, all right, my boy. And the daughter cannot even talk on the phone with boys at the age of 14, not until you're not going to have a boyfriend until you're 25. I've seen those plots on like Growing Pains, Family Matters. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, this is how people really behave? I don't know. I hope he issues an apology expeditiously. I hope he issues an apology publicly. And reason being is because he chose to embarrass her publicly. So he should apologize publicly. And I hope that he does it on his own. He can do it on his own platform because he has a podcast. But if he decides to do another interview for whatever reason, hopefully it'll be with two people or one person who has logic and common sense and is not like a bobble. Let me not use the word hate. I really dislike ding-dongs. You know what I'm saying? Like bobble-headed people. You know what I mean? I just, I don't like that. I got to move on from this because I was grossed out, number one. And it made me just really start to think some things like, wait a minute. T.I., I really hope that some of your industry friends, some of your self-righteous homeboys who seem to have all the answers, I hope they call you out on this. And Charlamagne, that's Charlamagne. He's really funny. Charlamagne said that he totally understands T.I., and he said he doesn't want his daughter to have sex, And I get, like I said, I get all of that. However, if that's the case, the world doesn't need to know that. You know what I mean? Like, show your daughter some respect. It's almost as if you don't trust her to make the right decisions. So you can't think for yourself. So I'm going to think for you. Do you know how insulting that is? That would totally insult my intelligence. And me and my father would have to have a conversation, okay? A very stern conversation. I got to move on. Anyway, because I don't like that. I don't like that. Anyway, 50 Cent. 50 Cent is furious with Comcast for potentially dropping Stars. So Stars is in jeopardy of being dropped from Comcast. he did out the Comcast CEO and put up his picture on Twitter because you know 50 is petty like that. So Comcast is pretty much still at a standstill as it pertains to keeping stars. So 50 is upset. It makes sense because remember now, we're in season 6 of Power, right? This is the final season. And the the mid-season finale was last week. So that was episode 10. There's 5 more episodes left, right? And then there's supposed to be spin-offs that are going to premiere, I think, 24 or 48 hours after the final episode of Power, you know, the series finale of Power, the season 6. So yeah, I could understand 50's a little bit ticked off, you know. So again, this is the last season. I'm pretty sure ratings are probably going to be the highest, and people are anticipating the spin-offs of Power. So yeah, I get it. You know, my prediction is that stars will remain on Comcast, and the consumers are going to be the ones to pay the price. So the price of the cable bills may go up in order to keep stars, because it's all about the almighty dollar. I mean, cable companies go through that all the time where they negotiate contracts for like local channels and then also like the premium channels and cable channels, so on and so forth. So like I said, the consumer is going to be the one to pay the price for that. I can guarantee it. Now, in recent news, did you guys hear that November 13th, Comcast will be before the Supreme Court? And this is basically in reference to the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Did you guys hear that? You know, Byron Allen was, he was in a lawsuit with Charter and Comcast, and they have gone to court several times. So the recent case, Byron Allen pretty much won against Charter and Comcast twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like in a civil suit. So Comcast decided to take this to the Supreme Court, not Byron Allen. Comcast decided to take this to the Supreme Court. So this is going to be heard before the Supreme Court on November 13th. And basically, in a nutshell, if Comcast wins this, right, it is pretty much going to undo slightly, well, whether it's slightly or entirely, it's still going to be bad. Anyway, the Civil Rights Act of 1866. So if Comcast definitely does win this, it is going to allow other conglomerates to pretty much do what they want. And you know what? I'll save that for another video. Just Google the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and look up Byron Allen's recent interview with the Breakfast Club. And also the individual that has the position as president in the White House, interesting, his Department of Justice is also going to be there on November 13th, speaking on behalf of Comcast. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for the politics. Got to give you a little bit in doses. Last but not least, Mr. Stevie J. He has been granted full temporary custody of Bonnie Bella until early 2020. Stevie J, we know him before he came on was a cast member on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. He was one of the hit makers for Bad Boys. You know, Bad Boys was an epic era back in the day. So he was a writer, producer, so on and so forth with Bad Boys. But we recently know him as being Stevie on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So he had a baby. He was in a relationship with Jocelyn Hernandez, and they had a baby, Bonnie Bella. And recently they've been going back and forth with like, in this nasty custody battle, I think like early this summer, maybe even before that, but they had a nasty breakup. They really had a bad breakup. I remember Stevie at one point didn't even believe that Bonnie Bella was his because of the things that he said about Jocelyn. Stevie J is currently married to Faith, she was also a part of Bad Boy, former wife of the late Notorious B.I.G. And she seems to be, that union was a little bit weird at first when I heard it, but I mean, things seem to be going, very well. So I know that Stevie J and Jocelyn have been going back and forth, and I think she violated the temporary custody agreement or something. Somebody dropped the baby off late or was out of town, and it was just a mess. Now, they are supposed to go back to court after January or like mid-January, but for now, Stevie has full custody, but temporary full custody. So Jocelyn can visit, she has visitation, but the baby resides with Stevie J and Faith in their home. Now, I do want to see this worked out because these things have a tendency to get ugly. I know Jocelyn is supposed to be doing a show on Zeus, so I wonder if she started filming for that yet. But regardless of whatever we can say about Jocelyn or how her behavior was on Love and Hip Hop, that's that baby's mother, and she has been used to living with her mom. So I'm hoping that things are good. I'm really hoping that things are good with them because sometimes you just never know mentally where this could take you. So hopefully Jocelyn's in a good place. Hopefully Stevie's in a good place too. And the baby is definitely being taken care of. I mean, Faith seems like she is a good mother herself. So I don't foresee any harm or danger, coming Bonnie Bella's way. So let me ask you something though. Do you think Stevie is doing this to avoid having to pay child support? Or do you think he's really concerned with the safety of his daughter? And it just dawned on me now as I'm saying this, I wonder if Jocelyn wants it this way because she is going to be filming a reality show, but Bonnie Bella is supposed to be on the show too. So I don't know. I mean, last I heard before this, Stevie and Jocelyn were in a good place. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping that both parents can remain civil in the presence of their baby because that baby didn't ask to be here. And that baby doesn't deserve to be in the middle of any sort of dysfunction. So Royal Family, be sure to get down in the comments. I know you guys are going to sound off about T.I., what T.I. said. I'm asking, as always, to be respectful. All right? You can disagree with me. You can disagree with each other. That's fine. But be respectful of each other and me and my platform. And if you have to use profanity, I've been meaning to say this to y'all because a lot of your comments are getting canned and I don't even see it. And as you know, I like responding to y'all. Like I really love the interaction. That's why I try to hurry up and get through these videos so I can get them up so that I can get, your feedback and we can chit chat in the comments. If you have to use profanity, please abbreviate, use asterisks, use the hashtag symbols, find a unique way to spell out the profane words, please, so that your comment doesn't get canned and deleted, okay? So yeah, that's about it, Royal Family. That's it for the WTF show. That's all I got. But yeah, I know a lot of you are going to sound off about T.I., and that's perfectly fine. But like I said, just keep it cute, keep it respectful. We don't all have to agree. As far as the Comcast situation, let me know what you guys know about that if you heard about what's happening with Comcast. As far as this Popeye epidemic, that's what I'm going to call it. The Popeyes chicken sandwich epidemic. I am not interested. If you had the chicken sandwich, rate it. Like, is it all that? Is it good? I mean, I heard some people say it's not even that serious. Justin Bieber recently tweeted like, the sweet tea is popping, but the sandwich is like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. So, Royal Family, I'm signing off. Thank you for clicking on my video and rocking out with me this long. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. And if you are a returning Royal Family member, greetings and hello. Anyway, all right, I'm signing off, you guys. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. But yeah, get in the comments. I want to know what a lot of you have to say, especially about this T.I. situation. So until next time, peace.